And we are off. Like the horses, like the horse race. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. Standard Time, I mean. Man, I'm behind the times. And it is indeed, it's Thursday. For some reason, I was typing Wednesday. Let me fix all of those. It's Thursday, the 11th of November, 2021 AD, which means that it is actually Veterans Day. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Veterans Day. And I apologize if I look like I'm rude, not talking to you people, to you guys, the camera, but I want to fix this thing before I mess it up. Because I put wed for Wednesday. Anyway, guys, I have some things to talk about. Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick, Rittenhouse, Chin Up King. And I was looking into this climate mess. I don't want to call it anything else but mess. Climate propaganda. On many sides. And censorship of dislikes. YouTube dislikes. Wow. Am I not going to get ratioed anymore? Have I ever been ratioed? I'm not sure. I will cover this Cori Bush woman whom I did not get to yesterday. Evil Pfizer as well. A short message from Trump. And interesting information regarding phony Fauci. He has a long history in the United States government. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. So, you know what? I have lots of stuff to cover. You can call in 888-775-3773. Got my handy dandy get a job stickers. My handy dandy rebel flag. Shout out to the South. The South will rise again. Shout out to the Facebook crew, the beautiful Facebook crew. And I am wearing a Jesse Lee Peterson store t-shirt. Never tell a woman your problems. In short, that's what it says. It says never, 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 never. Ever, 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 but never, ever, ever, ever tell a woman your problems. Something to that effect. Tell a woman your problems. I didn't know that. I used to go talk to my mom. What a mess, huh? Wow, how embarrassing. Anyway, it is indeed Veterans Day, and I have to wish Robert from Kansas, Chris from Los Angeles, or wherever you're living now, and the rest, including Kyle, Jack Bauer, John Wick, Rittenhouse, an honorary veteran in the in more than just the meme wars against America's enemies within. He is a veteran of sorts, 18 years old, young man, upstanding young man. Happy Veterans Day. My respect to you guys. Very cool. Woodrow Wilson was a commie, though. Or no. Woodrow Wilson was the first guy who did. It was called Armistice Day. Did you know that Veterans Day started way back recognizing the end, so-called end of World War I? Did it ever end? World War I pretty much gave birth to World War II, as I understand it, right? Am I wrong? At least with regard to what happened with Germany. Because from what I was told, Germany was so clamped down on that they were just, did not have any rights to self-determination. Reminds me of what happened in the South. No rights of self-determination. Yeah, I don't play my music at the beginning of the show anymore, guys. I might start again, but I play it in the middle of the show, the top of the hour, the top of the second hour. It's just starting into it. So hold your breath until I play more beautiful music. I will be playing some cool music. Beautiful music, actually. I think you will like it. You might. Yeah, but it was called Armistice Day because they signed some armistice, which is kind of like a ceasefire type of a thing. And that was under Woodrow Wilson. And I think Woodrow Wilson was effectively a commie. He ushered in a whole lot of communism into America. Didn't he bring in the messed up education system that is now worse than ever, so-called education here in America? And people are dumber than ever, more gullible than ever. You don't just blame education, of course, because they subverted the families and all that mess. And people just surrendered to evil and weakness. Veterans Day, not to be confused with Memorial Day. Yes, slow mode is on. I always have slow mode. Hopefully it's only to 6 seconds, right? Let me just make sure. Over there on YouTube. Bibby42, shout out, man. Thank you for the support, as always. But yeah, Memorial Day is for the fallen soldiers. Soldiers who fell in battle. And it's also not to be confused with Women Veterans Day. Did you know that there was a Women Veterans Day? Cringe. Am I right? So terrible. Women's Veterans Day is, I think it's, oh my gosh, it is 60-second slow mode. Horrific. My apologies. Thank you, Bibby42. I didn't mean to put on, man, I'm gonna kneecap my viewer count because half the fun of my show is the chat. Well, at least for the live chatters. What a mess, huh? Okay, so I fixed it. 6 seconds slow mode. For those of you who don't know what's going on, in the YouTube live chat, YouTube is a platform that is not exactly for free speech. They're really publishers, but they let you on a short leash, have your little say. Very short leash. They're babysitter, mama types, communists, enemies of America, even though they're a so-called American company. But in spite of themselves, there's a lot of people who tell the truth on YouTube, but they get their mouth taped over and all kinds of mess. Hake got short hair? Yeah. And so I had it on slow mode, which means you can only press one chat every 60 seconds. And I meant to change it to 6 seconds. What a mess. Well, thank you, Bibby42. I'm glad you caught my eye with that stuff. Okay, so yeah, Women Veterans Day, I think is like June. Well, you shouldn't even care about it. June 12th. And I heard that women veterans are 11% currently, and they're going to be 18% of the veterans in 2046 if we last that long. That's the projection. What a mess, huh? But anyway, let me get to some manliness. This is a clip shared by TPUSA meme guy Benny Johnson. You guys know him? You guys like him? He shared a brief statement from Trump honoring the honorable veterans as distinct from the dishonorable ones. I think I have it ready. Listen to this. Donald Trump, the president.
Today, I'd like to pay tribute to all of those incredible people, and you are indeed incredible people, who serve so well and so strong and so powerfully in the United States Armed Forces. We love you, our nation respects you, the world respects you, and we will come back. Our country has gone through a lot. The last period of time has been very, very tough, watching what you had to watch, but our country will be back, and will be back stronger than ever. Happy Veterans Day.
Isn't that nice? Beautiful statement, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Very cool. Can we talk about Google's Veteran Day logo? Let's see. What is Google's? If you go to Google that, oh my gosh. Oh, terrible. Let me show you guys the cringe-inducing Veterans Day logo, which has Google is evil Veteran Day. Here, let me drag it into the folder. I just put in Google. Google is evil Vet Day. It has a black guy in a two-tone, goofy-looking, I'm not sure what this is, Air Force suit. And then what? What is this? Oh, so I gather that they're cutting people in half into like their normal job and then also their uniform for the military. Pretty disturbing. There's a woman, I guess it's a woman in the second from left, who's dressed like a Marine and then has a dress on and looks like, where's her hair? And then there is a black, light-skinned black guy, I think. Looks like a sailor. And the sailor uniform, I don't know, it just makes me question. There's this female black doctor and a biker dude with a big mustache and this Asian, portly, short, stout Asian person with a cupcake. Terrible, huh? What's happening to America? Thank you for the tip, whoever said that. Woke military, says Colin Barrett. By the way, speaking of woke, I am scheduled to appear on the Hippy Dippy podcast, or whatever it's called. You ever heard of that? My debate opponent from Modern Day Debate debated Destiny on that podcast late October. And one of the producer guys or somebody helping with the host, who seems to be like this LGBT, at least LGBT friendly, liberal, politically correct guy who hosts a podcast on Twitch and elsewhere, YouTube and stuff. And they invited me on. And so we'll talk about it. Is it good to be woke? We may touch on the elections of New Jersey and Virginia. We might talk about the Rittenhouse trial. I saw somebody wants to talk about the Rittenhouse trial and some other stuff. It's like a 3.5 hour long podcast. That'll be Friday between 5 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. And it'll be like 8 different guests, including me. Wow. So I'll set your VCRs, boomers, says Colin Barry. No, I'll let you know about it as the time approaches. It's tomorrow evening. Wow. Yeah, terrible. Woke means asleep. It means spiritually dead. It means you suppress what's right in favor of evil. And that's what's happening to our great American veterans and our great American military, which I guess is great. I don't know. But there were some great people. The Southerners, white Southerners, fill up some of the best, most elite of our military. And now they're getting like kicked out because they don't want to get the vaccine or they're patriotic, and that's confused with white supremacy or something like that. This imaginary thing that this affirmative action defense secretary guy, Lloyd Austin, is completely subverting the military for sleepy Biden and for evil Obama, who's maybe... you think Obama's running the show? I don't know. Terrible, huh? But anyway, Veterans Day. Who knew it lands in the middle of the week? It's the 11th minute after the 11th hour after the 11th of the 11th month, the 11th day of the 11th month. Is it satanic when they repeat the numbers like that? Is it something evil? Somebody let me know what is going on. Let me quickly get to a few super chats, guys. There was one left over from yesterday that I did not get to. Asmodor, over there on... Am I streaming on Odyssey right now? Something going on. Trying to figure it out. Wow. Is it going? It looks like it's left over from my yesterday show. It's showing my t-shirt. It says knowledge is poison. I wore my knowledge is poison t-shirt yesterday. What's going on in the kitchen? But I don't know what's cooking. Unable to connect with Odyssey. Sorry to the Odyssey viewers. I wonder if I can toggle it. Should I toggle it? I think I might do that. But anyway, Asmodor, speaking of Odyssey, gave a super chat over there on Odyssey, odysee.com/@ the Hake Report, if I ever connect today. He said, everywhere that blacks live, you find chicken bones and dirty bits of hair weave over the ground everywhere, so says Asmodor with a super chat. Well, thank you for the tip on that. I did not know that. But Skip had been trying to tell me. Toggle it because it's the old show. I'm going to turn it off. Count to 5. I'll read some super chats in the meantime, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. BB42 gave a super chat, says, Hake, after winning that amazing debate earlier this week, you can play whatever music you like. Hake-a-mania is running wild, brother. Yeah, that was my bad impression of Hulk Hogan. Thank you, man. Hulkamania, right? Cool. Thank you, Bibby42. I appreciate you, man. Alexandra, too. I never realized Hake is so hype. That's cool. Thank you, Alexandra. I try. Let me toggle this Odyssey thing back on. Whew. Hopefully we go live, people. What a shame. It says unable to connect. Well, man, let me just tell the people. I can't seem to connect on Odyssey. What the heck? Is heck a bad word, kids? I felt at liberty to say heck after my sister said, what the heck? I was playing chess with her one day. I was like in early high school, and she's all, what the heck? And afterwards, I felt free to say heck. Before that, I didn't feel good saying what the heck. So sheltered, so white and Christian. Am I right? Is that white? Some whites cuss out their parents. But anyway, yeah, apologies for the technical difficulties to Odyssey. Find me elsewhere. Let me get to TSION out of Georgia. Long time no hear. TSION from Georgia. How are you?
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hi. Good morning.
Morning. Afternoon for you. Wait, no, is it afternoon? Georgia. Yeah, it's...
yeah, I'm back in Georgia.
Nice. Well, welcome back to Georgia. The state, right? Not the country?
Yeah, the state. How are you?
Fine.
Good.
Are you on
I'm
speakerphone?
fine.
You're coming in kind of echoey. Maybe you're just on in a...
Yes, I was. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry.
No problem. Well, I'm too nice.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay. Yes, I heard the news. Your Jesse's news. I'm trying to call Jesse, but
Nice.
he's busy. His phone's busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said something about Ethiopia, so I thought
Yeah, do you know what's going on over there in Ethiopia? You are
a lot is
Ethiopian,
going on.
right?
Yes, I'm Ethiopian, and also my on my father's side, I am Tigray. So Tigray,
okay.
and then my mom is Amhara. So it's a conflict. They're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just reported on 16 females accused fighters from Ethiopia's northern Tigray. Tigray is how it's pronounced?
Yeah, Tigray.
Tigray.
Yeah, Tigray. Yeah.
Region. 16 women accused People's Liberation Front, Tigray People's Liberation Front soldiers of gang rape.
Yeah.
And those
it's
women
true.
were from the Amhara region.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, Amhara used to be so superior, back in the day, in the king's days. Ethiopia used to have a last king who is, the Jamaicans worship him, literally.
Whoa.
The Rastafarians.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Selassie, King Selassie, he was Amhara, and so they've been in loyalty, so they have superiority, and so like every race don't like them as much because they had that.
They think they're better than everybody.
Respect me, better. So now there's TPLF, the former president. You remember the former president who died?
I don't remember offhand, but TPLF is Tigray People's Liberation Front.
Yeah, I can't believe it made it to national news now because America is butting in. It doesn't concern them because they're two brothers. But the problem is now TPLF really used to be, because my father was a part of it.
Okay.
And which is why it's like now in my family, there's crazy chaos.
Yeah.
Their house arrest, all kinds of stuff. But I want to support what's right? That's what Jesse teaches us to do what's right also in the Bible and everything. And it's so sad because it's like brother against brother.
Yeah.
But the problem is the former president used to be so selfish and only for the Tigray. He divided the country just like Obama did.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of like hatred for the Amharas, and I understand, but now they are raping the women. It's true. And they're killing even the animals and stuff. And America's supporting them, the TPLF, the ones who are in America, they keep encouraging the Tigrayans to be racist, for other races, and they send like 11 years old teenagers, give them a gun and go fight. It's horrible what's happening.
That's America encouraging 11-year-olds to go fight on behalf of the People's Liberation Front? Tigray?
No, well, actually, they don't. I don't know. They play it out as if they don't know or they don't trust this current government.
Okay.
He's telling them, he's what more? They're documenting it. Ethiopian news broadcasting and everything. And, but I think the Democrats now are in power, and Joe supports it because TPLF, the former regime. They used to support Obama's campaign, and they gave a lot of money to his campaign when Obama was about to get elected. You remember, because he's in Africa and whatever. So there's like a special interest going on, lobbyists, whatever is going on. It's politics. They don't want to sit down and talk about it. They want to support the wrong side, which is the genocide TPLF, which it's sad because they're my family, and it's just, I'm the only one who's seeing the light here.
Your parents are like Romeo and Juliet. They're on two different sides of the fight.
Yes, because they were literally, everybody's mixed here. We're brother. We may have different languages. Ethiopia has 80 nations and nationalities, right? Different languages.
Wow.
We've never been colonized. We have history. In the Bible, we have 3,000 years of history.
Yeah.
Right? Like Abyssinia, Ethiopia. But it's so sad. I mean, my mom supports my dad's side, Tigrayans, too, because, it's a long story. But she support. And it's a conflict among, like, my grandparents' side on my mom. It's crazy what's happening. But America's supporting it for their own interest because they took the Ethiopian people's tax money, the beggars, the poor people, out of their mouth. And he used to support the Democrat Party,
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Meddling foreign influence in our elections.
Yeah.
Man, that's terrible.
And I just came from Ethiopia, and I see the gas prices have gone up. Everything is crazy here. Everything's crazy there, everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This report that I read in Hake News at the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, it was a report from CNN, and they were sharing a report from Amnesty International. And Amnesty International is a so-called human rights group that hates Trump. They
Of course.
They're communists, basically, internationalist communists. They like to meddle in
You know what's
stuff.
crazy?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, but it's crazy because the Ethiopians, I'm sure half of them, they misunderstood and voted for Joe Biden. They voted for him.
Oh, yeah, here in America.
Yes, because of the dam, the Nile River belongs to us. But, you know, he said something, he made a comment, and it just made him, he made a comment about bombing. Why isn't Egypt didn't bomb the quote, right? Allegedly. He said that, so we heard him. And the Ethiopian people turned, again, they were all for Trump, but half of them here who understood him didn't care. They didn't let, you know, his comments.
Are most Ethiopians in America, are most of them Christians or Muslims or what?
Of course. They're Christians and Muslims.
Oh, okay.
They're Christian Orthodox. There's Pentecostal. There's Christians, like Baptists, you know, whatever.
Right.
Evangelicals.
Are there a bunch of Ethiopian Jews, too?
Yeah, we have Jews in the Amhara region, the Gondar region. There's Jews there, that, you know, from the Queen of Sheba and Solomon.
Man.
Story. But, so, yeah, it's so sad because now CNN, they found out about CNN, too, that the people are serious. They protested against CNN, too, saying they're giving out wrong information, which I've been saying,
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, to my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're no good. They're fake. And they work for the elite. They work for the Democratic Party, literally.
Yeah.
They're liberals. They don't care. And it's so sad. I want Donald Trump back, but we can't. I don't blame him if he doesn't want to run again.
I don't either. I'm happy with whatever he decides. I support whatever he wants to do.
Let him live his life. Unfortunately, the people wouldn't want to stand up. I don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's quiet. The news talks all day. Ted Cruz, you know, all those fake Republican conservatives. I don't trust them. None of them but Trump.
Yeah.
You know, it's so sad.
That's how I feel about it, too.
Selling. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I chuckled when I read in this CNN article that the Tigray People's Liberation Front fighters allegedly committed the widespread sexual violence in August, raping and assaulting women, and then they threw in these words, and hurling ethnic slurs. I'm sure that's the least of their concern, getting ethnic slurs while getting raped. Please.
Right. They're very, I don't know. It's like I said, the former regime, he was very, very, I say anti-Ethiopia, because if he wanted Ethiopia, he would want to unite, because we're the same. We're the same blood. We're the brother and sister, and I'm mixed, and I don't know what's going on.
So what are the different?
You brainwash them.
Are all the different? You said 80 nations inside of Ethiopia.
Nationalities, nations and nationalities.
And so like
with different culture.
So is one of the nationalities Tigray, and one of the nationalities is Amhara?
Amhara and Oromo. Oromo is the current president right now. He's half Oromo too, mixed with something else, or maybe he's full Oromo. I have no idea.
But they're all
Eritrean too.
To white people, they all look black, or no?
I know. Well, in the Western, I think Western or South, they're very dark. Have you seen them? They're dark, really, really midnight dark.
All right.
And we have like light, or my complexion, or Ermias's complexion. Is he Amhara? Ermias, your PR, the Jesse's PR.
I don't know what part of Ethiopia his family hails from.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, he look Amhara though. I'm not really.
I've started to be able to recognize the Ethiopians as distinguished from some of the other blacks, because they have bigger eyes or something. Something about it.
Yeah, their eyes, you can tell. Yeah, there's something.
Because there's little Ethiopias right around here.
I'm sure.
On like
LA.
Fairfax.
And guess what? There's Tigrees there too. Like one of the guy who's out there involved in the former president's politics. He's one of the dictators sitting here. It's so sad. They sit here and they spew their hate, spreading for those poor people. down there, if you see Hake in Ethiopia, all I used to do was cry, literally, because there's beggars, young street boys. You can't even come outside without, crying.
In that country?
I cry. I'm emotional. Yeah, they have beggars. They have little kids in the rain, hungry, asking you for bread or change, whatever. And it's horrible. I hated it. And I told my mother, like, I'm coming back. I can't stand it.
Wow.
It's disgusting. And all of this is because of the former president. He rubbed the country, literally. And this guy is doing the best he can. He doesn't want to discriminate against another race, but now America is against
meddling.
him. So I don't.
What a mess. Somebody said, Joshua Everything says, hey, get Chris to pull up a picture of Starvin Marvin. He's the typical Ethiopian. Have you ever heard of Starvin
It's not
Marvin?
funny, but those kids don't.
You said that's
deserve
funny, but
that.
it's not true? Oh,
Well,
it's South Park.
we're skinny because the food is organic too.
Nice.
They're skinny, and they're thick people. Right now, they're the farm. They're using fertility.
Yeah.
They're using hormone food. So because there's too many people.
Oh,
So
GMO food?
It's like this.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for America, and people need to realize those ungrateful
Right.
people, they need to realize how good they got it here. Food is a luxury there.
Yeah.
We're okay, our family, but like if you come out of your house, okay, there's rich people and there's poor people. There's no middle class.
Yeah.
And you see starving kids, you don't know who to give. I give
Right, because there
change
could be
here, I give
scammers
there
too.
change. Yeah, and there's the young boys. I decided to help now. Like
Wow.
every month, whatever we can afford, me and my sisters.
Yeah.
Because they're snorting, what do you call it? The glue, yeah. Glue.
Oh, man. So the
Glue
little
to
kids are
prevent
snorting glue?
themselves from hunger. Yeah, from hunger. The street, what are they going to do? They can't, it's terrible.
Wow. Because
I'm
they can't
telling
deal
you.
with the hunger pangs.
No,
Crazy.
they can't. They can't. Food is I'm telling you, salmon is a luxury. You have to pay $500 or more for it. It's crazy.
Crazy.
$5.99 for salmon here.
What a mess.
It's not just Ethiopia. Any third world country,
Yeah.
they need to be grateful of America.
For
and
sure.
If America falls, we all fall. Literally.
Well, thank you,
literally
Sion.
is my word.
I wish your country well.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
All right.
But yeah, I wanted to say that. I wanted to.
Well, thank you for
How's
calling in.
Earl, I haven't heard from him.
I haven't either. We'll have to.
I haven't heard him.
Maybe
On your show.
he'll call back another day, or maybe he's gone. Who knows?
Oh my God! I hope the corona didn't get him.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
All right, Sion.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
right.
bye.
Bye. Let me quickly get to Jeff in Louisiana. Jeff had some words for me over on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. What's up, Jeff?
How's it going, Hake?
Going well, thank you.
I just want to tell you, I listen to your music, and I know you don't like stuff with cuss words and curse and stuff like that, but listen to Tom McDonald. He's a Canadian rapper who moved to the States, and he has some songs called "Brainwashed," "Fake Woke," and I can't remember what song, but "Brainwashed." And
Is
Fake
he
Woke.
white?
Yeah, he's white.
Okay.
He's tapped.
I've heard of him.
Head to toe. He's tapped him head to toe. Man, his songs resonate with what's going on in America today. In fact, we're bending over for everything and everybody, and we're showing our culture to appease people so much.
Yeah.
You know, we're not standing up for America. It's like he's got one line that says, we dedicate. No, we give one day to our men and women who fought for us and died for us to have the freedom to do what we do. We give whole month to Caitlyn Jenner for coming out as gay pride.
So that's a line from his raps. That's nice.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly word for word the line, but
Right,
I mean,
but
that's
the
what
message.
it says. Yeah, it's just, we give a whole month to Caitlyn Jenner for coming out of the closet, but we don't honor our soldiers with one day.
Yeah.
So, man, his songs make a lot of sense in America. if you listen to them, they really resonate what's going on in this country today.
Okay. I bet it resonates with what's going on in Canada, too. I didn't know that he was Canadian.
Yeah, well, he's from Canada. He's got one song called Falling Down, where he talks about he's in Canada, and he was a kid, and he got drunk and had a blackout wreck and, crashed his truck and stuff, but, it's he resonates with what's going on in America today. Well, I say America, what's going on in the world today? I mean, the whole world's screwed up because everybody's bound down saying, well, we had slaves 200 years ago, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to me.
Well,
I mean, it matters, but it's not like I'd have something to do with it. I can't take responsibility for something I didn't do nothing with.
I got a request from a friend of Big Bump. I got a tip that Big Bump has a new track out. So getting a lot of requests. A lot of people are sending me music that they are into or producing themselves, and I appreciate that, guys. Do you know Mad Child? Dawning Armor wants to know.
No, man, I don't know, man. I don't listen to much new music. I just heard, I'll be honest with you, most of my music I listen to is like older 80s and 90s rock. I love that music because it wasn't with the cuss words and everything else. It was just good music, and I listen to a lot of older rock and older late Asian organized country. Stuff not with the cuss words and every other words or MF,
Right.
Just stuff that was good music.
Okay.
It had a feeling to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the tip, man. And the request. Take care.
And what's a minute.
What's that?
I was trying to think of something else I'm going to talk to you about. I can't remember what it was. So I'll give you a call back, man, next day or two.
That sounds good, man.
Oh, man, I was going to tell you, I did talk to you. I talked to you on Monday.
Yeah.
I think it was Monday.
I forget, too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I told you, you asked me if I worked and stuff. I told you, I worked and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my company's trying to retire me. Well,
yeah.
They continue that process out, man. Now I've been disabled until the end of the year, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Well, I wish you well. Let me know how that goes, because it's good to be able to get working.
Okay, man.
Somewhere or another.
Man. Okay, man. Have a good day, man. Bye.
You too. Take care, Jeff. Thank you, guys. Quick super chat from Lin Yen Chin. He wants to correct the record. TSION, referring to my first caller about Ethiopia, she said the Jamaicans worship somebody related to one of the Ethiopian people. TSION is close, but not correct, says Lin Yen Chin over there on Odyssey. Oh, no, not on Odyssey. On streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. We Jamaican-born do not worship her people, but the Rastafarian subset of us believe their last king was our Messiah, our Jesus Christ. My mom, Jamaican-born, caught the Ethiopian fixation fever about 20 years back. Mess. Well, thank you, Lin Yen Chin. I didn't catch the distinction, but I appreciate the clarification or elaborating. And hopefully, Single Mom doing her best appreciated that super chat as it was unique. It didn't include any of your typical catchphrases that she thinks are silly and tired and boring or whatever. I hope you guys can patch things up. But appreciate that. Man, let me get to William in California. I got to. William, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, you doing
well?
Okay
Thank
this
you.
Morning? Good. Throwing a shout out to the 761st Battalion.
761st Battalion.
761st is the Black Panthers
Oh.
for all you youngsters. That
Whoa.
is not the Black Panthers in the 1960s. 761st under George Patton.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's for the veterans. The young lady that called from Ethiopia is a great example of what's really going on over there, because I heard you before having some disputes about incest in which race. If you think about it, over in Africa, a lot of that is going on. That woman's right.
Oh.
And that's the Eritreans that we're fighting with. That's an in-house fight.
Yeah.
For many, many years. Many, many years. So for all you blacks that think you want to go back to Africa, talk to the young lady that just called. She'll let you know.
Yeah, she is actually African.
Okay?
Yeah.
She's from over there. She'll let you know. She put it down. She put it down, Hake.
Okay. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad for the feedback because it's hard to know what the truth is overseas.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Who, tell me any of these young people that were born 1990 and up. Tell me if they know anything about the Black Panthers, 761st.
So this is 1942 to 1946, the segregated unit, and 1947 to 1955, the integrated unit, 761st Tank Battalion.
That's
was
right.
During
Fast
World
Brown.
War II under Patton. Patton seemed like an okay guy.
Well, he told them he didn't BS with them. He told them, he says, I want you to kill everything moving.
Wow.
Because we're depending on this battle in Bastogne to actually get to the point where they got to end the war. So these are very important soldiers. And if anybody's black knew anything, the military has and always has been the best option for black people. Even though they had problems, slavery and all that, they knew to be patriotic and defend this country and not other countries because they knew they wouldn't want to live in Africa.
Right. Yeah, I think JLP tried to join the military, but they had stricter standards, and I think maybe it was because of the hair lip or whatever.
No,
palate.
Sometimes some people had, they couldn't wear the boot and that kind of stuff. You know,
yeah, it was different. Yeah, they had strict medical standards. You couldn't have any deformities.
Exactly. And for those who want to get in my personal life, it's okay. I do have a lot of women friends, and one is actually an officer retired from the Navy. And the reason why she's closer to me is because even though she was in the military, she doesn't try to run my ship.
Okay.
And she's telling me her retaining wall was having problems with her retaining wall. I say, well, look, it's leaning. And she says, no, it's not. I says, let me tell you something. I brought something out of my car and I showed her. I said, you know what? One thing that doesn't lie, a level and a tape measure.
Wow.
A level and a tape measure and a framing square will never lie to you. You know, she said, I was in the Navy all these years and I didn't even know that. I said, it's a man thing, baby.
Well,
it's a man thing.
Nice.
So, hey, get back to the show, man.
All right,
William.
William.
The callers waiting. And
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, you as well. Quick little note I'm getting from Ermias over there. China is taking over Ethiopia and Africa. Yeah, I heard that they're even meddling in South Africa. The farming to feed their population and minerals. China's taking that over. And they're even intermarrying. It's a mess. While the blacks are infighting, China is taking over. Sounds kind of similar to what's happening in America. They're buying up our land. You know, like millennials and younger can't afford a house. And part of it is China. I know I've heard of BlackRock, you know, that company that's buying up a bunch of homes. But the Chinese people coming in here and paying cash. Anyway, they're over there too. The blacks are infighting, meaning all these different nations inside of Ethiopia infighting. China is taking over. Africa has always been a mess and susceptible to communism. Yeah, very true. Yeah, Lindy corroborates. China been taking over Africa and America. Yeah, it's the Chi-Coms. It's a fact, Jack. So don't be crazy. Yeah, so Odyssey is down, guys. I apologize, but you can still chat in Odyssey and then listen from the other platforms. The JLP Live audio player works. RDO.2/Jesse. TalkStream Live, as well as YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, not Trovo, scratch Trovo, Twitter, D Live, And I think that's it. You guys want some excitement or mind-numbing stupidity? Let's get to Tony in California, and then I will get back to some of these stories, guys. Tony in California, how are you doing? What's up?
How you doing, Hank?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. Did you see that 18-year-old boy crying like a little child on the stand yesterday? All that was nothing but show, because he ain't dropped one tear. Not one tear. That's all nothing but show.
You don't know. You don't know that. And he's not a boy, he's a man.
He's a boy.
More
He's
of a man than you. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, that's your opinion. You have the right to have one.
No,
everybody got one.
It's not a matter of an opinion. That's a fact. Kyle Jack Bauer, John Wick Rittenhouse, just turned 18 in February or whenever it was, is more of a man than Tony from California who hates his own country.
Well, wait till he go to prison. See how much man he be up in there.
What makes you think that he's going to prison? Are you on speakerphone? Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm not. I'm in my truck.
Are you on Bluetooth?
No, I'm on.
You're in your truck. That doesn't tell me whether or not you're on speakerphone, man.
But the thing is, when he go to prison, he go wish he never seen that rifle that he shot boys. The other people will.
Are you saying that there are evil people in prison who abuse innocent men who are wrongfully imprisoned, or is that are you pretending that Kyle is going to go? Are you pretending that Kyle is going to be wrongfully convicted? Are you pretending? Tony. Are you pretending that Kyle is going to be wrongfully convicted?
Wait, what?
Are you pretending that Kyle is going to be wrongfully convicted?
Ain't no wrongfully convicted. He's going to be rightfully convicted for killing them people. If he had stayed at home and did his homework and went to school the next day, he wouldn't be in this predicament. But no,
sometimes you gotta. Sometimes people suffer for doing what's right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the
Did you watch the video, Tony? Hey, Tony.
What about them two white boys that killed that school teacher in Iowa?
Tony! Did you watch the video?
What you want, Hank? Yeah, watch what video?
Of Kyle Rittenhouse defending himself against violent attackers.
Defending yourself. They're like bringing a knife to a paper towel fight.
Answer the question. Did you watch the video?
Man. Yes, I watched it, yes.
Oh, okay. So then you're just telling me that you hate white people and you hate innocent Americans.
No.
Yeah. That's what you're telling me. You're full of hate.
Well, that's your opinion again.
And you're a clown.
You have a right to have that. That's like everybody got one they sitting on. But the thing
you're a clown. It's not proper for a grown black man, to be a clown.
Well, that's your opinion, sir. Like I said, that you can have that.
You think it's proper for you to act like a clown?
Why don't you answer the question? Why you always got to throw names? That's children-like. Why don't you have a?
You think it's children-like for me to call you a clown for calling an innocent man guilty?
Did I call you any name? Did I call you anything?
I don't know, but you called Kyle. You called an innocent man guilty. Did you like it when blacks?
Guilty.
Hey, Tony.
He is guilty. He was shooting in public.
There is a time to shoot in public.
What?
There is a time to shoot in public when you're defending yourself.
Oh, there's a time. Well, once again.
So Tony. Yeah. Yes, I believe it was. I believe it was. I have no idea though.
He went to a state line. He's not from
It's irrelevant.
He's from Illinois.
It's irrelevant. Tony, did you like when blacks were lynched without any trial? Have you ever heard that blacks used to be? Did you know that blacks?
That's American way.
Tony.
That's American way.
Oh, so then you think you're being an American by trying to lynch Kyle Rittenhouse?
I'm not American, so don't label me, bro.
Then why are you commenting on it? Why are you an un-American person commenting on our affairs? Thanks for admitting you're a communist.
Because I pay taxes here. That's why. I have a right to.
No, you don't have a right to be a clown.
Well,
You don't have a right to falsely. You don't have a right to slander. Hey, hey.
Give my money back.
I'm quoting Jeff Suffering. Hey, Tony.
What?
You don't have a right to slander. You don't have a right to slander an innocent man. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm a citizen of this country. I got a right to do. I have my opinion just like you do.
That's not a matter. It's not up for opinion. It's not up for opinion. If you were a fair-minded, hold on, Tony. If you were a, hold on, Tony. If you were a fair-minded, shut up, Tony. All right, bye. If you were a fair-minded, honest, and decent person, not like the people that you see on Twitter. Defense is calling witnesses for Kyle Rittenhouse right now. I think they're calling up a doctor maybe and a police officer or something like that. But fair-minded, honest, and decent people don't hashtag trend Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty. Was actually trending on Twitter. I thought Twitter wanted to suppress misinformation, disinformation, but no, Twitter are commies. That's why they clamped down on anybody who said something to the effect of, there were people who said Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. They didn't say that. They said did nothing wrong, right? Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. That's what they claim. And Twitter users flagged that as supporting violence, glorifying violence, which sometimes you have to be violent to defend your own life. What the heck? Yeah, they made JLP delete his tweet. They suspended a year ago when this first happened. I think that woman who used to be a Bernie supporter, she's a single mother. She writes for that homosexual conservative outlet, the Gateway Pundit. I forget what her name was. Cassandra Fairbanks. She tweeted something like, Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. And she was suspended on Twitter for telling the obvious truth to anybody who watched the video, because it's clearly self-defense. Clearly self-defense. Tucker Carlson interviewed there was one shooting. The first shooting was not directly caught on camera exactly. Not clearly caught on camera, but an honest witness, a Daily Caller reporter, was right there in the line of the shooting. Like, he could have been shot had Kyle been less skilled in his handiwork. He watched Kyle with his own eyes defend himself against that violent, convicted criminal, Joseph Rosenbaum, mentally ill person, spiritually dead on the inside. What a shame. Just go, basically, according to Tucker, right from the madhouse out into the BLM protests. Some think that he may have been compensating for the guilt he feels and the violence that he feels inside of his raging, angry spirit, right outside for an excuse to attack people, Antifa BLM, violent attackers. And so the Daily Caller reporter, Richard McGinnis, I believe, watched this guy attack Kyle, tried to get his gun. Kyle went like this and fired some shots. And the guy, I don't know if you want to call it unfortunate, he got shot in the head. And he died. Kyle ran off. I just killed somebody, told his partner. I just killed somebody. And so he's getting out of the area. The mob heard, oh, this guy murdered somebody. Let's go get him. And the crowd, you're not supposed to listen to the crowd, the mob. Kyle wouldn't have done that had the mob been chasing another man with a gun. Pretend Kyle was just as innocent as he is today, but he was dumb enough to support Black Lives Matter. Let's just pretend. And he was out there defending the Black Lives Matter protesters from the scary militia, which they're not scary. Let's pretend the mob was chasing another guy who had just killed a violent Black Lives Matter supporter, but the mob was saying, oh, he killed somebody. He wouldn't chase a person down just because the mob is saying so. Yeah. So anyway, the disgusting, there's some disgusting tweets out there, including from blue check marks on Twitter, getting hundreds, thousands, more than 10, 16,000, 4,000 16,000 or 1.6? Oh, yeah, 16,000. Calling these people, saying Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty. Shameful, huh? Just disgusting tweets. And so right on, salute to our veterans, including Kyle Rittenhouse. Twitter is evil. Google is evil. Facebook is evil. It's such a shame. Did you hear that YouTube is censoring dislikes? YouTube is owned by Google, hiding dislikes. And what's the most notable thing about dislikes on YouTube is that the dislikes, what's the one thing that you've heard about dislikes on YouTube? Joe Biden videos, White House. You know, the people who are using the White House YouTube channel is Joe Biden. Every one of his videos gets hugely, way out of proportion, ratioed dislikes over the likes on their videos. And phony Fauci. Fauci videos get a lot of dislikes too. It's interesting, huh? Meanwhile, Trump videos are heavily liked. But 80 million votes, guys. Free and fair election. Free and fair election. Oh, man. I will get back to more of your calls. I have a beautiful song that I would like to share with you, considering all the evil in this world, suffering and the hideous thieves. They write about a lot of the darkness or sang in the early 2000s about a lot of the darkness. You could, if you want to call it singing. Darkness in the world. And this second to last song on the album Rats in Heaven from 2004, released in 2004, is a great song. It's called Return. I hope you like it. We are 3 minutes till the top of the hour. I will get back to calls in this new hour coming up here. Enjoy Suffering and the Hideous Thieves, Return, and I shall return. Nice. Nice. They want Jesus to return, guys. Very nice, says Lord Graham. Very nice. I'll have to say this one is good. Yeah, the album art shows like blood drops. Sorry, kids. I like it, eh? Nice job, sir. Thank you. What in the New Age commie Christianity are you playing? Head bobbing right now. Wash your hands. Good song, good message, says Willie Powell. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that. Play Iron Maiden, Hake. Hallowed be thy name. They drink IPA, says Tim Scott. That's a reference to the hoppy estrogen levels in IPA. It's even worse than soy. Did you know that? It has more estrogen than soy. Matt the American, let me read some of these chats to you guys. Matt the American, over there in the, somebody said that's nice music. Coldplay, says Dr. Fauci. Not bad, Joseph 461, that's cool. Kyle showed more fortitude and pose as a man at 17 than most of you will in your whole lives. Yeah. Dr. ADD, oh, I get it, Hake. The suffering is the music, and the hideous thieves is them dirty fingernails. Have Nick cut my ears off, says Tom New. What's up, Tom New? Guten Tag, right? Something like that. The emo, so emo, the lyrics bleed. Adam and Evil, hey. Super edgy blood drips, bro. What's up, ma? I don't know if they're on the right track with the Jesus coming back and destroying the whole world. I guess it's in the Bible, right? Something to that effect. Matt the American also says Kyle stood up and did what a man would do. Chill out. Please, somebody told him to chill out. Please, Mama, this is how a man speaks. I think I heard this before, says Lord Grimm. Definitely not going to burn a CD off this. All right. Yeah, Linya and Chin thinks this is New Age commie Christianity. And it may be. Jeff Suffering, I believe all musicians are liberals, I will have you say. I have a musician coming on my show tomorrow. And Jeff Suffering is no exception, I don't think. I believe he called himself a Christian anarchist. Cringe, am I right? Might as well call yourself a law-libertarian. I'm halfway playing. But not all the way. Let me, speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse, get quickly to Graham, a first-time caller in North Carolina. What's up, Graham? How are you?
I'm good, Hake. How are you, man?
No man is good. I'm fine.
I'm not good. I'm decent. I'm sorry. I'm decent.
Anyway.
I'm usually good at that.
Nice.
But caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. I should be ready, though. Anyway, so, real quick, this is going to tie into the Kyle thing. You're a fan of Revenge of the Sis, aren't you? Or at least someone donates in your name. I don't know.
I don't watch. I have not seen Revenge of the Sis. Not that I have anything against them, but that's a two-man show, and then one of the men from the Revenge of the Sis, Mersh, hosts Nightwave Radio, and I do occasionally tune in to Nightwave Radio on YouTube, on these other platforms, and he has super chats on, so I sometimes super chat in to Mersh on Nightwave Radio. Yes. And he kind of likes my show, I think.
He does. He likes your show.
Yeah.
And so that was you then. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was someone pretending to be you or not.
Nope. That was me.
So Mersh on Nightwave, actually, and I think he brought it up on the main show, but he was talking about a tweet that a woman had made where it was a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse crying. And this is in response to Tony. So I hope you're listening, Tony.
Oh.
That what he just said about him crying, that was a viral tweet that some woman put out. A woman put out on Twitter.
Was it Anna, what's her name?
Kasparian? No.
No. I wasn't talking about Kasparian. Anna Navarro hyphen something. This fake, evil woman from Commie Nonsense Network. She tweeted something so evil.
It might have been. He didn't really say who she was. He just said it was a woman.
Yeah.
And he might have said, but I don't remember if he did. But she said basically the exact same thing Tony said. So I don't know for sure that's where he got it, but pretty sure that was originally in a woman's opinion. And she said, that's the face he's going to make when he gets into prison. And Merce's comment on that, and I agree with Merce, is how just evil and disgusting do you have to be to, because he said, even if that was a black guy up there, if it was a black guy up there showing that kind of remorse, he would still feel a little bit bad. He'd still feel that humanity. This guy, say it was the same situation if it was a black guy, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't just hate him because of, the color of skin or anything like that.
Okay.
He'd say, this kid is showing remorse, obviously.
Right.
And why would anybody...
He did have tears.
The lack of,
he had an actual tear.
They were real tears.
People said, no tears came out. I see a tear.
Yeah, there were. Not only that, with people who don't show remorse, it's really obvious because they want you to know they don't show any remorse.
He was, I don't even know if it's really remorse is the right word for it, but he was clearly disturbed by the scene of kind of reliving the situation.
Well, Merce said it was PTSD. That's what happens when you get real PTSD, not fake PTSD.
Right.
Like you can't control.
I just dragged a couple of screenshots. Well, not this screenshot. It was a different. It's not the same woman. I was thinking Ana Navarro Cardenas, who is a proud Nicaraguan American, and she's on CNN. She's not the one who tweeted that he'll be in prison, I don't think, but she tweeted a picture of him crying, and she's just so evil. She wrote, Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed Anthony Huber, 26, Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and injured Gage Grosskreutz, now 27. Think about how much their loved ones have cried. Real anguish and grief, not crocodile tears. This woman was a rhino never-Trumper on CNN. She hates Trump, and apparently she hates truth. I mean, if you hate Trump, that's a good indication that you hate truth. And sure enough, what an evil woman. She's on The View and all that mess. But she was not the one who said, he'll be, at least not that I know of, crying in prison. So Tony's just repeating words of a woman, huh? Not surprising.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. Literally, yeah. But it's just sad because Jesse's right in that respect. I know you probably agree. It is a battle of love and hate. You can tell. You can start to tell when people are just full of hate, and it blinds them to the reality. You know what I mean? It's just sad. And I pray, and you know what, Tony, I pray for you, man. And I couldn't imagine what it's like to walk around. Well, I can because I used to, everybody at one point, right?
Yeah.
We were blind. But I wouldn't want to still be in that state anymore. And I just pray for you, Tony, man. And that's pretty much all I had to say.
Well, that's kind. I appreciate that, Graham. Did I meet you at the men's conference?
No, but
okay.
But I want to get more involved in some weird way. Hank, I almost called you Hank. Hake, I feel somewhat of a kindred spirit with you. I don't know if it's just because I'm Southern too or what, but definitely feel like a brother in Christ for sure. So I'm sure maybe we've met on a spiritual plane somewhere.
Nice.
But hopefully we'll meet in this life at some time.
Right on. Appreciate it, Graham. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye now.
Bye. Okay, before I get back to calls, guys, let me tell you about this evil woman. Moms.com, November 2020. This is a year ago. Politician Cori Bush, Cori, not to be confused with Cori I'm blanking on his name. Never mind. That guy who says, I am Spartacus. He's this light-skinned guy from New Jersey. Oh, man. Horrific person. Evil guy. Plays around like he's not morally straight and acts like there's nothing wrong with it. But no, I'm talking about Cori Bush, who's a younger woman, I think. And powerful mama. By the way, Chris says Kyle didn't want to kill the guy. He had to. Didn't want to. He had to. And that's true. Cori Bush's life, and I have a few pictures of this evil woman. And she is evil. She's misguided. And misguided is a great word. She's misled, and she's leading the blind, too. Cori Bush's life, says moms.com. M-O-M-S. Shameless, huh? As a single mom is why she got engaged in politics. Seems like the opposite should be true. It seems like why she should keep her, not worry her pretty little head. And I use the term pretty and little loosely here. She's a big-headed, ugly on the inside, at least. I don't know. You make your own decision on the outside. She's a single mother. She's off the market, guys, in terms of relationships. Look at that scowl. Smile, lady. She got engaged in politics, and her story is a powerful reminder that we can make a difference in the world. For evil, this is moms.com. And it's by Laylee Williams, or whatever that name is. I can't read that. When she got pregnant with her second child, she lost her job because of illness, and that led to her family losing their home. She lived in an SUV with her then husband and a newborn and a toddler. Her marriage did not last, alas. But Cori Bush worked hard. She went back to school and got a degree in nursing. Right on. She also became a pastor, a black female single mother pastor. Oh, no. She went back to school and got a degree in nursing. She became a pastor and raised her daughter and her son. After the death of, I put this word in, thug, Michael Brown, the gentle giant, Cori Bush started going to protests after work. Misguided. Many times still in her scrubs. Nurse, you know those nurses wear their jammy type scrubs? People would refer to her as pastor or even mom. Mom! Cori Bush's children were teenagers during the Michael Brown Black Lives Matter riots. Michael Brown was the 18-year-old guy who allegedly stole and strong-arm robbed Swisher Sweets, a big old pack of them, big old box of them, from a local Middle Eastern, I think, or whatever he was, a liquor store. Allegedly stole him. And the cops were called. Former Officer Darren Wilson, then Officer Darren Wilson, a white, upstanding officer who did nothing wrong, it was shown, got that call, saw the guy with the Swisher Sweets walking around in the middle of the street. He's all, hey, get the blank off the road. And Mike Brown, being the defiant, gentle giant that he was, punched Officer Wilson in the face and reached for his gun and tried to get Officer Wilson's gun, and like a bullet went through his thumb or something like that. Inside of the vehicle, punching him. Officer Wilson, I think, described him as seeming like a demon with the anger and rage and violence from Mike Brown, that gentle giant. And then he turned away, tried to run. Officer Wilson's like, stop, come back. Turn back. According to the forensic evidence, it seemed to be corroborated by witness testimony that he charged Officer Wilson, and Officer Wilson fired at him like Kyle Rittenhouse had to fire at his attackers. And Mike Brown, maybe he lifted his hands for a second and then charged, just like Grosskreutz did against Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse's attacker who survived. Grosskreutz came at him with a pistol, pretended to raise his hands for a second, like feigning like he was surrendering. And then he started pointing the gun at him again and charging at him, got his arm halfway shot off. Extra gently, though. So, yeah. But no, the blacks, there were some blacks, some evil communists in the crowd saying, hands up, don't shoot. He had hands up, don't shoot. A lot of blacks will take the side of other blacks, even guilty blacks, and then they'll accuse the whites of doing this. They'll accuse the cops of doing this. And just lie and pretend that the guilty are the innocent and the innocent are the guilty. So Cori Bush was in on that mob, falsely attacking, and now she's a politician. She's an elected official. I think out of the St. Louis area, if I'm not mistaken. What? Cori Bush. American politician, registered nurse, pastor, and Black Lives Matter activist serving as the U.S. representative for Missouri's 1st Congressional District. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, 45 years old. Born in 1976. She's been on movies and TV shows. Educated. And she's a member of the Squad. She voted no on that infrastructure bill because it's not communist quite enough. There she is, saying, black women, I'm showing you, we are showing you, a IG post under the St. Louis Arch. That's St. Louis, right? And she's posing next to another short-haired, well, she's not so short-haired, unless that's a weave or wig or whatever. I don't know my black girl hair stuff. Please bear with me here. But she's posing next to a short-haired oldish black lady. They're both wearing masks here. Beautiful sky, beautiful green trees, beautiful St. Louis Arch, and then these eyesores posing, blocking our view. And she writes, black women are building a new St. Louis. Okay, commie. Tear it apart. Oh, is that the St. Louis Attorney General? Or a DA or whatever? Yeah, district attorney. These corrupt, communist-funded, Soros-funded, evil BLM-supported district attorneys who are not prosecuting criminals but going after the innocent people and tearing apart the country. Disgusting. Anything else about Cori Bush? Oh, yeah, her children were teenagers, just a few younger than Mike Brown. And that is what drove her to engage in these so-called protests, which, who knows, maybe she did not participate in the riot aspect, but when she's smearing an innocent man, such as Darren Wilson was, proved quite clearly innocent, then she's not doing right. According to The Guardian, Bush continues to be a hands-on mom. This is from moms.com. I'd love to give politics a rest, but as a mom, I can't. Well, as a mom, as a mother, you should. As a woman, you should. Even though her children are now 19 and 20, they're grown adults. Legally, anyway. After spending 400 days protesting in Ferguson, she said she still has worries about the world that her children are living in. And she drives her son home, who's like 19 or 20. Most nights, this was last year, because she has concerns about what might happen if confronted by a police officer. Oh yeah, blacks' primary danger is from a police officer. Give me a break. Her story was documented on the Netflix documentary. Netflix props up all the black degenerate communist causes. Knocked down the house back a year or two ago. Terrible, huh? It's so evil. Anyway, that's that for that woman. I had to share that with you. It's just some disgusting stuff going on in the world. Let me get to Merle in Michigan. Another nasty black female. Merle, black-hearted. Female-hearted. What's up, Merle?
I heard that. That was not. That was an insult right off the bat.
Yeah, you bet it was.
You wouldn't even do that to the blacks.
Oh yeah. No, you are an evil person, Merle.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and
do you want to apologize for being so evil?
You can apologize to me.
All right, goodbye. What a mess. No, Merle was an evil, disgusting last call. And he's immature. So Merle was complaining about blacks being banned. I don't think that Merle is black on the outside, but his heart is just filled with evil. So Merle, you are banned until you can apologize, which is only right. Admit you're wrong. Admit you were wrong. Merle stinks, says Ashy Dog. Yeah, not good, man, not good. And then he said, thank you. Oh, man, give him a chance. I shall give him a chance if and when he apologizes. And by the way, he may have been on speakerphone. And he doesn't have to apologize to me. He doesn't have to grovel. But apologizing means acknowledging you were wrong. He is a grown man, right? He wants that respect. She says, you don't respect your elders. I really love boomers. I have a t-shirt that says, I love boomers. Merle, I don't think is a boomer, though. I think he is a Gen Xer. I could be mistaken. Den Tietjin says, censorship Hake style. Brandon M gave us super chat. Flipping a coin, an actual coin this time. A gold coin. Thank you, Brandon M. Appreciate that super chat on Odyssey. Did you know that you can still super chat on Odyssey even when I am not live? ODYSEE.com/@ the Hake Report /live. Very cool. I'm still chuckling about, well, it's just a lot of mess. Super. Okay. Do I have any other? Oh, I have some. Let me play you some funny clips. Okay? Can I play some funny clips? And then I'll tell you about the climate nonsense. Media Matters is evil, if you're not familiar. Media Matters are a bunch of just, I don't know, just how else do you say it? They're enemies of America. Media Matters for America? More like Media Matters against America. Yo, I just ended Media Matters. MMFA's Jason Campbell on Twitter, he tweeted this clip of the great Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager. That's right. Did you know that Dennis Prager is the great Dennis Prager? Who loves JLP, by the way. Anytime he's interviewed Jesse Lee Peterson, he's written the foreword to a couple of his books. He loves Jesse. Anytime he disagrees with Jesse, according to what he wrote, he said he thinks to himself, where did I go wrong? He questions himself when he finds himself disagreeing with JLP. Jewish, by the way. A somewhat Christian-friendly Jewish person. Although he was like anybody but Trump for a while. Oh, wow. But anyway, he stated during the AIDS crisis, can you imagine if gay men and intravenous drug users, had they been pariahs the way the non-vaccinated are? It would have been inconceivable. And he pretends that would have been wrong. But listen to this clip. Dennis Prager talking on, I think, Fox News or something. You have that thing ready? This clip of, did I put it in the folder? Man. Clip 12. Prager vax gays. Vaccination madness. And comparing it to the gays situation in the 80s with AIDS. AIDS was a big scare in the 80s. Even Magic Johnson got it. And don't come to me with your gossip about what Magic was into. Please. But listen to Prager. Listen to this.
No, what she found funny was that she doesn't have a magic wand. But somebody in her party has a magic wand. The reason we're paying so much is because the magic wand of the Democratic president was to destroy the energy independence of the United States of America. With one magic wand, the man ruined our economy, ruined the ability of the lower and middle class to pay their energy bills, as in Germany, by the way. This is not just unique to the United States. Anywhere that you have people who are governed by fear of global warming, an idiotic, irrational, sick fear of extinction of the biosphere. I mean, do you understand the nonsense that we live with? If we survive this as a free country, historians will just ask, how did this happen? How did people get governed by irrational fears? Whether it is of the non-vaccinated who are the pariahs of America, as I have not seen in my lifetime any pariah group like this. During the AIDS crisis, can you imagine if gay men and intravenous drug users, who were the vast majority of people with AIDS, had they been pariahs the way the non-vaccinated are? But it would have been inconceivable, and it should have been inconceivable. They should not have been made pariahs. But this is kosher. This is okay. You can make the non-vaccinated. So it's a different America.
That was Dennis Prager, not on Fox News. That was a Newsmax clip shared by the Attack Dogs, Media Matters for America. Yeah, he said it's kosher. Dennis Prager said it's kosher to smear the unvaccinated. To make them pariahs. And I disagree with him. I think that the gays and the drug users should be shamed. They should be somewhat of pariahs, in a sense. You treat them well, but you don't treat them like bend over backwards being all extra nice to them the way that society is and was. So I disagree with him a little bit on that. But he's right. It's kosher to hate the unvaccinated people. But the radical homosexuals got mad, and Pete Buttigieg, the guy who's the transportation secretary under sleazy Joe Biden, who pretends to be a Catholic. He pretends to be a Catholic, and yet he was for so-called same-sex marriage before Obama was out of the closet with supporting same-sex marriage. Because Obama was hiding his support for same-sex marriage, so-called marriage, which is not even a real marriage. But Obama was supporting that stuff in secret. Sleazy Joe, Catholic Joe, Irish, so-called white Joe, evil-hearted Joe, supported that stuff, supported the evil self-destruction of the gays and the children that they so-called adopt. Well, Pete Buttigieg, the radical homosexual transportation secretary who took maternity leave or paternity leave or whatever during the supply chain mess, which was already supported by Sleazy Joe and all the Democrats and mainstream media and rhinos. His so-called husband, Buttigieg's so-called husband, Chasten Buttigieg, on Twitter stated, in response to Prager, AIDS patients died because people feared simply touching them would lead to infection. So, what? If you don't hug an AIDS patient, they'll die? What? Families abandoned their own children to be buried in unmarked graves, says Chasten. This may be a bit of revisionist history. Let us know where we can send the books, Dennis. God forbid you read one. And he's attacking our friend Dennis Prager, ignoring the evil attacks to this day on the vaccinated people. I saw one woman, black woman, so-called conservative woman, tweet that the vaccinated are the most marginalized people. We are the most marginalized and oppressed people. Well, I can think of people, although they too are probably generally, quote unquote, unvaccinated, who are more marginalized, you know, the people smeared as white supremacists. I saw some Proud Boys at a school board meeting in like North Carolina. I went on Reddit yesterday. I don't like to go on Reddit a lot, but I sometimes like to go on there, see what they're talking about. Reddit's a liberal platform. / publisher. And they were Proud Boys. One guy in maybe even a bulletproof vest. Nice. Get involved locally. Right on. So anyway, he's all, AIDS patients died because people feared simply touching them would lead to infection, which could be considered misinformation. So this guy, Kennedy W. Roberts, tweeted out a throwback of the misinformation king, phony Fauci. This is from 1983. It's a throwback, originally from YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. Dr. Fauci speaks out on the AIDS virus, not violence. 1983 throwback. Listen to phony Fauci from 1983, and look how young this guy looks. You barely even recognize him or his voice. I only recognize him by his sort of accent thing. Listen to Fauci talking about AIDS back in 1983 when I was like 2. Listen to this.
We may be starting to see, as we're seeing virtually as the months go by, other groups that can be involved, and seeing it in children is really quite disturbing.
When you say other close contact, give me some examples.
Well, for example, if the close contact of a child is a household contact, perhaps there will be a certain number of cases of individual who are just living with and in close contact with someone with AIDS or at risk of AIDS, who does not necessarily have to have intimate sexual contact or share a needle, but just the ordinary close contact that one sees in normal interpersonal relationships.
The relationships. That was on ABC News and Hezekiah News, whatever that is. Fauci. And isn't this a new so-called disease now, a new virus? Only, 2 years old? Less than 2 years old or whatever? Oh, no, it's more than 2 years old now. According to what they claim. And it's still not well understood. But the lynch mob is going after the people who are incredulous in this low trust environment. Hat tip, White Rabbit Radio, because that's what we are in, where you can't trust the mainstream media, but then they act like, oh, you're anti-science, just because we don't believe what you say. Tweet from Cat Turd 2. Pete Buttigieg took 2 months off of maternity leave during a supply chain shortage. He came back to work to tell us all the roads and bridges are racist. Did you hear about that? Like the bridges were like too low for food trucks to get into like ghetto areas or something like that. And so the blacks couldn't get the food. What a mess. So yeah, that's phony Fauci. What a mess. Glad to be done with that. Evil Pfizer. Mama Pfizer. Speaking of this fake news stuff, I saw this meme. Did I put this meme in the folder from Pfizer? Pfizer Inc. tweeted this out. Seems inappropriate to me. And they tweeted this little meme out saying, it's easy to get distracted by misinformation these days, but don't worry. Science has got your back. Hashtag science will win. Huh. That's what they're saying. And it has for those listening on the audio feed, not catching the video, or you can't watch the video, it has a little cartoon, 2-panel cartoon. In the first panel, it has a personification of the human brain, a person, and this person is labeled the human brain, gray person. And then it has this shiny yellow sun-like object that this person is chasing, and it says wild conspiracy theories. And then in the second panel, the happy conclusion, I guess, this big pink monster wraps its arms around the legs of the human brain, and the human brain is sweating, nervously smiling, because he's being held back by science from the wild conspiracy theories. That's a liberal meme for you. The left cannot meme. Is that true or is it not true? Cringe, says Alpha 4 Doctor on First, something like that. Yeah. Propaganda, says Jupiter. The left can't meme. Yeah, I think it's confirmed. The conspiracy is real. And by the way, on this tweet, who can reply? People whom Pfizer Inc. mentioned can reply, and they did not mention anybody. So you don't get your freedom of speech against Pfizer or against the liberals. You can only sue Trump, real Donald Trump, and get your so-called freedom of speech if you're a liberal communist being an evil person. If I were president, they would prevent me from banning nasty, evil, vulgar people like Merle. Merle, repent. You don't want to be a bitter old man. It's not good to be bitter. The Bible says, and Merle is a Christian, that get rid of all bitterness. Yeah, it says that. Marjorie Greene, going back to this Pfizer thing, said she was blocked. Saying cringe is gay, says Eric. I know. Whatever. I somewhat disagree. Marjorie Greene tweeted, just found out I'm blocked by Pfizer. I don't know when she was blocked. She tweeted this out the other day. Marjorie Greene being she's a female politician, a mother, married mother. But she's not anti-American, at least, right? That we know of. She at least puts on a good show of fighting for us, which I appreciate. I appreciate that. Salute to Marjorie Greene. Was she a veteran too? Somebody in the chat claiming Jesse is a bitter old man. What a joke. Yeah, so Pfizer blocked Marjorie Greene, a member of Congress. How incredibly childish, says Marjorie Greene. People call her Marjorie Taylor Greene, but Taylor is her maiden name. You're Marjorie Greene now, lady. If Pfizer can block people, then we can block their vaccines, she says. Very nice, lady. Yo, based? Can a lady be based? Terrible. And by the way, speaking of this madness, the vaccine mandates and all that stuff, I heard that In-N-Out, the great In-N-Out, another Catholic Christian chain. Can you be Catholic and Christian? I think you can. In-N-Out, the family-owned burger, In-N-Out burger, restaurant or drive-through or walk up and you can eat in the restaurant sometimes, who are facing evil shutdowns by evil California Democrat politicians because they don't want to comply with the mandates and force people. They're Catholics. Catholics don't believe in putting foreign stuff or stuff that vaccines, sometimes they use baby stuff in the testing or creation of these vaccines. Did you know that? Like an aborted fetus from the 70s, an aborted baby, a killed baby from the 70s, one or two. And then there are others I've heard. Some of you guys have called in. You guys know about this more than I do, some of you. And they don't want it. They're a Christian company, and they believe in freedom. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. So Ron DeSantis of Florida claims they may expand to Florida. I think In-N-Out would do well in Florida. They're a family-owned company. They never sold out. Unlike Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. Well, I don't know. Does In-N-Out donate to some of these degenerate organizations? I don't know. But I know that Chick-fil-A does. Did you know that? That the president of Chick-fil-A is a Christian, supposedly Christian, was anyway, chicken sandwich fast food joint. And their president washed the feet of some black fake Christian rapper who supports Black Lives Matter. In other words, he's a communist and may not even realize it. A useful idiot. Not propaganda. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but it doesn't matter. He washed the guy's, he shined the dude's shoes on a TV show. Talk about performative, thinking that he's being like Jesus, just Jesus washed his disciples' feet. The black dude should be washing the white dude's feet because the black people have a bitterness towards the whites. Washing the feet kind of represents, I heard, forgiveness. And you need to stop hating the whites for something that they didn't even do. So right on to In-N-Out. That's cool. Let me tell you about this climate mess going on. Speaking of that misinformation, did you guys see on my last YouTube video? YouTube is babysitting you guys because I mentioned the climate, and they may put this tag called context on my video again since I'm mentioning this word, and they're able to make out what I'm saying here, right here and now. United Nations, and they cite the United Nations, the evil United Nations, enemies of America, who pretend that racism is a human rights issue in America. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns, mainly caused by human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels. So claims the UN. So put YouTube in my video. And this is not new to any of you guys. If you're familiar at all with YouTube, you've been seeing that stuff. But the reason that I show this is because, is it just me? Or do you guys feel this too? Yeah, there is an In-N-Out in Baldwin Park. What's up, Peter? This does not persuade me to believe that you are correct. Anytime you're trying to force me to believe something, it makes me more suspicious of what you're trying to convince me of. I know I'm ending a sentence with a preposition, which you're not supposed to do. Huh. Angry pick Hake. Yeah, they're getting like Twitter. Twitter tries to force you to believe stuff that against your will. It doesn't seem very, are they trying to make us mad? Are they trying to make us suspicious? Is this, or are they really that lacking in understanding of human nature? Or are they really that mama, you know, because it's kind of like a female to try to force somebody to believe something. And that gets into, it's a temptation among many of us. The atheists try to convince people of atheism. The Christians try to convince people of Christianity. The Muslims will kill you. Sometimes. The Jewish people are not known for proselytizing, except for the atheistic ones who push this SJW woke nonsense, right? Yeah. There was this performative thing, you know, the COP26 Conference of Parties, UN thing. Tuvalu is, I guess it's a country in the Pacific Ocean. It's an island nation. Not interested in becoming the next Atlantis. This is a photograph and a little article snippet from Morning Brew, Climate, just ridiculous drama. This guy, who's supposedly the leader of this nation, there's a photograph of him, I'm looking at it right here, and he's standing in water that's above his knees. He's waded out into the water, above his knees, pretending that his country's already underwater. Oh my gosh. And he brought his podium out with microphones, and he has like a flag, UN flag or something like that. Do you see that thing in the folder? It's called Climate Ridiculous Drama. It's inside of, well, there it is, yeah. Look at that picture. Goofy guy. Tuvalu wants you to know the tiny nation of 12,000 people in the Pacific Ocean is exploring ways to retain its legal status as a country. Rising sea levels encroach on its landmass. On average, the country sits just 6 feet and 6 inches above sea level. That's your problem. Tuvalu's foreign minister Simone Kofe told Reuters. Reuters is a far-left Enemies of America foreign outlet. Well, maybe they started out as American. We're looking at legal avenues where we can retain ownership of our maritime zones, retain our recognition as a state under international law if its population were forced to leave. International law requires a state to have a permanent population in a defined territory, Washington Post notes. Kofi went viral earlier this week for addressing the COP26 UN Climate Summit, standing knee-deep in water. That's more than knee-deep. He meant to highlight the growing threat of climate change to low-lying island nations. Oh, poor us. We were dumb enough to set up shop here. Well, I don't know I don't know their story of how they were founded. We have pleaded with industrialized powers to cut emissions and limit warming. Frankly speaking, there is no dignity to a slow and painful death, he says. Oh, another island nation said. President of another island nation, Palau. You might as well bomb our island instead of making us suffer. You want us to? No, I'm playing around with that. But just ridiculous nonsense. Good news sources. Breitbart News. Breitbart News was a source where I saw a lot of stuff referenced to what was going on with the UN IPCC. UN is the United Nations, Enemies of America. They want to meddle in the affairs of America and redistribute America's wealth and just clamp down on your freedom and your businesses. They just want to meddle their fingers into you. Bunch of globalist socialists. They're enemies of America and decency. And the IPCC is the Intergovernmental Panel about climate change or something like that. On climate change. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. And I read in Breitbart News years ago about this man named Richard Toll, who's a professor, Dr. Richard S.J. Toll, M-A-E. He's on Twitter. He has his Wikipedia page. He's written an article, I believe, in The Guardian, which was cited by the great real Vincent James of the Red Elephants, another research fiend, and I say that as a compliment, who said that they are shutting down dissent in the UN. They're corrupt. It's political. Politicians, scientists, so-called scientists who work in these universities are public funded. They want the public funds. They have a conflict of interests, if you will. It's just like a doctor or a Barricade Garage made a great point. If Barricade Garage, you guys ever heard of him? He shouted out JLP one time, a few times. He made the point that he's another YouTuber guy. That a guy who runs an auto shop to fix your car will find stuff wrong with your car to make more money and say, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. You got to fix it right now. Well, that's what doctors do, dentists do it. In some cases, yeah, you should get this stuff taken care of. Scientists do it to keep themselves necessary. Phony Fauci, he seems to be a media whore. Forgive me for using the term. And so these people, I don't know. Yeah, and the doctors, they don't encourage you. You'll notice they're pushing people to vaccinate, but not get actually healthy. Not lose some of that weight, exercise, get fit. No, they're shutting down gyms to the so-called unvaccinated. The Red Elephants, Vincent James, on BitChute, he put out a video back in September. Climate lockdowns are coming next. And he references a prior video of his, but he documents how this 97% of climate scientists agree was put together by a guy who he's a cartoonist. He's just a liberal commie cartoonist. I'm calling him commie because commies always lie. And so if he's lying, must be a commie, right? And he's supporting this green is the new red agenda. The green agenda, save the earth type stuff. Nonsense. Climate lockdowns are coming next. Check out that video. And I say that to my friend who wondered if I think of him as a snake. Is Dawning Armor in the chat? Because he called in believing this stuff. Dr. Roy Spencer was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show one time. I brought him on when I was I guess. These are good sources that I would encourage you checking out as alternative. And you can also read the mainstream media stuff and see if what you think is true. You don't have to be an expert, though. Look at these people. The people pushing their solutions are enemies. They're not honest people. So you don't even have to be a research fiend or an expert. But Dr. Roy Spencer questions he says the globe is warming, but is it man-made or is it natural? And he says they don't even really look for the natural causes. They just have an assumption that it is man-made. And he talks about climate sensitivity, the sensitivity to stuff that man does. It is not as well researched as you might assume, according to him. I saw a Washington Compost article, a hit piece just this month, November 2nd, targeting Facebook. You know how Facebook is under attack? Because it does have some of the voice of the people for not doing enough censorship, because they treated Breitbart News as a legitimate news source, which Google, if you search Breitbart in Google, it's way, way, way suppressed. It's like searching Jesse Lee Peterson in Google for a while. Maybe he's less suppressed now. But you couldn't even find Jesse Lee Peterson's YouTube channel if you Google searched it. They'll show you everything else but Jesse Lee Peterson's YouTube channel. You'll see other YouTube videos about him. It's crazy. He's blacklisted. JLP. He's black on the outside, but he shouldn't be blacklisted. Washington Compost doing a hit piece saying Facebook should not be allowing Breitbart in its news sections. There was a guy who worked for Facebook who allegedly, according to some fake Facebook whistleblowers, saying that they were on a whitelist. Facebook was on a whitelist where legitimate news organizations, so-called, get a pass if they put out some false information. Say they get a story wrong. It happens all the time with the mainstream media. Crazy, huh? Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully it's useful information. I'll put it on my blog post for today, thehakereport.com /blog. Let me get to, we're in the last 7 minutes here, John in Kentucky. He wants to talk about this climate change stuff. What's up, John?
What's going on?
Hey.
No, I just wanted to know, am I correct in saying that the reason why you don't believe in climate change is because you take a political position that the right normally, they all stick together on the same, the same way they think. They all try to think the same.
Why do you assume that I don't believe in climate change?
Because you're just so against scientists and the evidence they come up with, because you think politically. You don't think...
So because I talk about politics and I'm against the just blindly believing any old scientist who's politically motivated, you think that I don't believe in climate change? You think that I don't believe that climate changes?
I said, am I correct in thinking that?
You are totally incorrect. I know the climate changes. Duh.
I mean, as far as like man-made pollution affecting the earth, do you think it has anything to do with it?
It affects stuff locally. I don't know how much. I really don't know. I neither believe it nor disbelieve it.
You said locally.
Oh yeah, definitely. Look at how
what about
people.
Globally?
Have you ever heard of the chicken bone crisis in Atlanta, Georgia?
Man, I heard you talking about that crap yesterday. You just trying to be funny.
No, it's real. Look it up on IG, Instagram.
Crisis.
Yeah, it's a crisis.
I don't care about that. That sounds idiotic.
Yeah, it is idiotic to be litter bugs, but they do it. A certain demographic.
Well, yeah, Hake, that was my question, man. I ain't got a lot.
So, in other words,
yeah.
So you buy everything that they feed you? You swallow what they feed you?
I mean, you have to listen to it, and then you apply it to your experience in living, right? When you were a kid, the weather was so much more different than it is now. So something's going on.
How so?
I mean, I remember one year we got snow all winter, right? And then in these parts, we rarely even get to see it. So if you see it dusting outside, I mean, you're happy to see snow now.
And
when
so
I was
have
a
you?
Kid, it was just
so
much more different.
So did they tell you that
summers
difference?
Are way hotter.
From one year to the next, things can be quite different.
No, drastically.
Yeah.
Drastically different.
Drastically different from one year to the next. Things can be drastically different. That's a fact.
Okay.
And you think that's and you fell right for that.
I didn't know you was a scientist, man.
Oh yeah, you should be too. You should observe things rather than jump to conclusions.
I observe it, and that's why I ask, am I correct? I said, you assume all the time. But look, I got to go back to work. I don't know about you, man. You get to hang out on the microphone all day.
I'm working. I'm working.
I wouldn't consider that work.
Oh yeah. That's because
all right.
You got it. Man. You got issues.
Gotta go, man. I got to shut you down.
Have a good one. Yeah. Take care. Nice. Bible go-to guy gave a super chat and states, let me pre-approve this though, because we don't need to get shut down. Most all climate scientists are government funded. Fact. They're going to push the government agenda. Interesting. Rising sea levels, for example. Where is there any sea level rising anywhere on Earth? Bible go-to guy asks. I don't know. I think he only knows Kentucky. Apparently, he grew up in Kentucky. And one year, it snowed all winter. And I don't know if a so-called climate scientist told him that that's the cause. But crazy. Anyway, wow. A black Hebrew Israelite swallowing what the mainstream media is telling him. Who would have thought? Let me quickly read a last couple of super chats here, guys. Your girlfriend, yours, gave a super chat. How much is Merle's bail? I want him to come back, please. Come get your girlfriend. Well, thank you, guys. I think that's about it for the super chats. Appreciate you. The climate changes every second, in fact. Yeah, solar activity is an influence. Last quick point. Sleep is good for you. There was a former guest on the Jason Lee Peterson show, one time frequent when he lived in this area, Dr. Singh. He said that sleep from 10 to 5 is ideal. Did you know that? I start fading about 8 o'clock. I like 9 to 4, 8:30 to 4. Sometimes 10 to 4:30, whatever. I think that Singh said 6 hours is the minimum for what's good. And they say 7 to 8 is best. If you're a high schooler and you're growing, 9 or 10 or whatever, you're working out a lot. They say that daylight savings time, it ended recently in California here and elsewhere in America. They said a perfect bedtime is between 10 and 11. Did you know that? Some of you guys work through the night, though. They analyzed data from 88,000 adults. Anything earlier or later than 10 or 11 can increase the risk of heart disease by as much as 25%, they say. I don't know how they figure that stuff. I don't know if it's causation or correlation with other stuff. A lot of people take these different caffeine mess. Not too early, not too late. Interesting, huh? Just thought that'd be a nice, interesting side note. Boomer Hake. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. A fun little show. TheHakeReport.com. God's Learning Channel. New episode on the Jesse Lee Peterson YouTube channel. I believe 4 p.m. today. Check it out. rebuildingtheman.com/church for the throwback episode that premiered yesterday. And it's on BitChute as well as Odyssey, I think. Thanks, guys. Take care.